Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Good evening. This is a live stream. We'll give it a few minutes, let some people join in. Hope you guys are having a good day out there tonight. I'm going to talk about a few different things in this decode. Right now, we only have 2 people in the chat, so just give me a second. Let a few people join. It's probably a busy night out there. I noticed that Zach Hubbard was live. I also noticed that Garo from Jurassic Liars, he was live. And so probably a lot of other stuff going on right now, but figured I'd jump on here. Hey, Christy, how you doing? Let me see if I can see how many are in the chat. Would you guys let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me clearly before I start? Hello, Shyla. How are you doing? Okay, you guys say it sounds good. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Hey, El Pakuli, how you doing? TM556, how are you? Yeah, everything's good, Christy. Me and my girlfriend are good, and just staying inside a lot here in Germany. The weather is pretty much crap all the time. So, yeah, but it's winter. So what else do we expect, I guess? So anyways, guys, let's jump into the information for those of you who are watching on a replay. And for those of you in the chat, I will get to you after the information is presented. So we're going to talk about Romulus and Remus, okay? And if you guys don't know this story, it's about the 2 twin brothers who supposedly founded Rome, and they were nursed by a she-wolf, okay? And the whole narrative of this decode is going to be about wolves. Of course, we have the story in the Bible where Jesus says they're wolves in sheep's clothing, and you know, there's a lot of wolves connections to Rome, because again, the people that supposedly founded Rome, Romulus and Remus, they were nursed by wolves, okay? And then we're going to get into the Amala and Kamala. Okay, that's where we're going to get into the Kamala connection. So just like Romulus and Remus, the 2 girls in the early 1900s were nursed and brought up by wolves. As you guys can see here, Amala and Kamala were 2 feral girls from Midnapore, Bengal, India, who were alleged to have been raised by wolves, okay? So a very similar story to the one that we get from Romulus and Remus. And yeah, and then we're going to talk about Lupercalia, which is all about purging and purifications and fertility. A huge Roman holiday, but notice that the Lupercalia priests in Roman history were known as the brothers of the wolf. So now we have these 3 connections. We have Romulus and Remus, we have Amala and Kamala, and we have Lupercalia, okay? All connected to wolves. Now, we have a national championship game coming up tomorrow on Elvis's birthday, his 89th birthday. And it's between Washington Huskies and the Michigan Wolverines, okay? So we have 2 teams that can very much be associated with wolves. Now, a Wolverine, I understand a Wolverine is not a wolf, but considering that a Wolverine has the word wolf in it, we're going to stick with that connection. And not only that, guys, but the team they're playing, the Washington Huskies, they have the W on their helmets like a wolf, and they also are known as the Huskies. And a dog that is closest to a wolf is a husky. So we're going to talk about this game tomorrow and what I think the ritual is leading into next month during Lupercalia, okay? So first we're going to go back a few years. And we're going to talk about this post on Gematria Effect News, Zach Hubbard. This post was made by a good decoder named Rambo. If you guys don't remember Rambo, he was known as the Truth Codes, and he used to have his own YouTube channel. And Rambo is a very good decoder, and he wrote this post in 2021, just as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were becoming president. And now, 3 years later, this post is as relevant as ever. So I'm going to go through this post. I'm going to make the initial connections, and then I'm going to show you what I found based off of what I believe is coming in our current time. Okay. So this post is all about House of Cards, Lupercalia, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Okay. So there's this show called House of Cards where Kevin Spacey plays the president, the 46th president, kind of like Joe Biden is the current 46th president of the United States. Okay. In this show, it's Francis J. Underwood. Notice the J in the middle, right? Like Jesuit, like Donald J. Trump. There's connections to all of them in this show, guys. There's connections to Trump, Biden, and Harris, and Obama, all four of them. But we're going to talk mainly about the Biden and Harris connection in this video. So in our real reality, Joe Biden is the 46th president of the United States. Okay. In this show, Kevin Spacey plays the 46th president who dies or supposedly dies, and he's replaced by a woman. Okay. So the exact same scenario that we're currently in real life was played out in this show called House of Cards. Okay. So as Rambo is talking here, we're going to talk about the president, right? First of all, the best thing to know here is that wolf in Latin is lupus. It's a symbol of Rome, okay? So we're going to talk about wolves. We're going to talk about the she-wolves. So in many people's minds, Joe Biden's inability to finish his term as president and Kamala Harris's presidency is a virtual certainty, not a matter of if, but when. A Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, known as a great conjunction, occurs every 20 years and coincides with United States elections. Every U.S. president that has won an election around a great conjunction has either died in office or survived an assassination attempt. Joe Biden is the latest to be elected in a conjunction year. So let's go through this, guys. All of the presidents that were elected in conjunction years, like Joe Biden was, were either assassinated or they were attempted to be assassinated or they died in office. The first one was William Henry Harrison, who died of pneumonia. Abraham Lincoln, we know what happened to him. James A. Garfield, he was also, taken out. William McKinley, also taken out. Warren G. Harding, he died of a heart attack. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he also died in office of a cerebral hemorrhage. Of course, we know what happened to JFK, and I'm going to make a huge connection to JFK here in a minute. Well, Captain Flatastic, as I'm saying here, every president to be elected in a conjunction year, like Joe Biden was, has died in office or has survived. So either Joe Biden dies in office and Kamala Harris is the first person that would replace him. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. I think there's a narrative for a second woman president to come later, whether that's Michelle Obama, whether that's Ivanka Trump, whether that's some other woman. I think there's a lot of narrative, but I'm going to show you why Kamala is in the position that she's in now as compared to everyone else that could be in the position. So anyway, every president that has been elected in a conjunction year has either been attempted assassinated or been died in office, okay? And Joe Biden is the next one, okay? Because the conjunction year was 2020. That was the year Biden was elected, all right? And in case you guys don't know, a conjunction year is when Jupiter and Saturn are conjunct, which is what happened before Joe Biden was elected, okay? So now Rambo, in his post, he brings up the very famous episode of The Simpsons called The Simpsons Bart to the Future, okay? And in this one, you see Lisa Simpson wearing an outfit very similar to Kamala Harris's outfit in her election. He doesn't show it here, but Kamala Harris wore a very similar outfit as Lisa Simpson did in this episode. But this episode was released on March 19th, 2000. So well before Kamala Harris even became vice president. But anyway, in this episode, this Lisa Simpson says, as you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. Well, of course, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were the ones who came after Trump. And this episode came out well before Trump was president and well before Kamala Harris replaced him, essentially. I mean, I'm not saying that Kamala Harris replaced him, but she was part of Joe Biden's cabinet and they replaced Trump. So very interesting. So here's another show that predicts the 47th president. Remember, the next president is going to be the 47th president. In this show called Veep on HBO, Julia Louis-Dreyfus plays Selena Meyer, a U.S. senator who runs for U.S. president like Kamala did. She fails like Kamala did. And then she gets picked as the VP like Kamala did. And then she becomes the U.S. president when the male president cannot complete his term. She becomes the 47th president, which is exactly what Kamala Harris, again, in these shows, they're saying that the next president will be the 47th and she will be a woman. Okay. So unless you consider Trump a woman, which I guess there's grounds to think that some people do think Trump is a woman. But yeah, anyway, this show Veep, I was decoding this today. I'm going to maybe release more information about this show later. But this is the woman being sworn as the 47th president in the show. Okay. And another show that predicts the 47th president as a woman is House of Cards, as I mentioned in the beginning, just like Kamala Harris would be the 47th president. Okay. So now let's talk about the big number, guys, and let's talk about Lupercalia. Okay. So in House of Cards, the woman becomes the 47th president. So the big number we need to know here is the 152, which is like the date February 15th, okay? If you write the date internationally, the number 152 is like February 15th. That's Lupercalia, okay? Lupercalia is February 15th or 152. And we're going to get into that and how perfectly this all lines up in just a moment. So Kamala Devi Harris, her full name equals 152. Female president equals 152. Rambo in this post, he made a post connecting her to the mother of pearl, which I haven't looked into, but that also equals 152. In the show House of Cards, Claire Underwood is born with the name Claire Hale, and she becomes the 47th president. Well, Claire Hale equals 152 in Jewish gematria, like Kamala Devi Harris, like female president, 152. Okay. Claire Hale. Notice that she's wearing kind of a purplish attire also, similar to the Simpsons episode, okay, and similar to Kamala. Notice that Claire Hale is from Highland Park, Texas, which is very close to where JFK was taken out, okay? And let's not forget that Joe Biden is the second Catholic president after JFK, and Joe Biden also equals 152. Kamala Harris and her sister, Maya, wrote a book called The Big Idea, and Big Idea equals 152. So we got this number, right? 152, which is the date February 15th, okay? Lupercalia is, as he says here, Lupercalia is 15-2. That's Lupercalia. That's the date we're going to be talking about, okay? He also mentions here that Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, is the first gentleman. He's the first gentleman. And the words first gentleman also equals 215, which is also very much like the date February 15th. Okay. And just notice here that in the show, Claire Hale is elected the 47th president. In gematria, president equals 47. Okay. Kamala Harris would be the 47th president if she was to be the next president. Trump equals 47, so he could very well be the next president. I'm not saying it's 100% that Kamala will be president next, but I think it's likely. So in the show House of Cards, Claire Underwood is from Highland Park. Well, Highland Park just also happens to equal 215, like the date February 15th. Okay. So the season and the episode in which Claire Hale becomes president is 5/6, which was released on May 30th, 2017. Well, that day happens to leave 215 days in the year. What's interesting about this day is this is the day that Joseph Robinette Biden died. Okay. He died on the day leaving 215 days. Let me show you what I mean. I'm not talking about our current president, Joseph Robinette Biden. I'm talking about another Joseph Robinette Biden. This guy. Notice that Joseph Robinette Biden III, who has the same name as his father, our current president, died in 2015, which is 215, and he died on May 30th, okay, which is the day leaving 215 in the year. So he dies in the year 215, and he dies in the day leaving 215 in the year. And what does Joseph Robinette Biden... shoot. Hold on, guys. My computer's acting up. So what is Joseph Robinette Biden equal? It equals 215. Okay. So Joseph Robinette Biden dies on 215 days left in the year. This is Joe Biden's son, who's also named Joseph Robinette Biden. He dies in 2015, which is 215. Okay. And this is the date, February 15th. Okay. Again, just so you guys can see, Beau Biden dies in 2015 on the day leaving 215, and Joseph Robinette Biden equals 215. Okay. Now, the wolf. The Roman influence in the founding of the United States is evident. Washington, D.C. is nicknamed Rome on the Potomac. The giant sculptures on the wall and the speaker's chair of the House represent a vivid display of the Roman Empire still alive. So now we're talking about Lupercalia. Lupercalia, as I showed you here, is the festival on 215, February 15th, and it is a pastoral festival of ancient Rome observed annually to purify the city, promoting health and fertility. So fertility is all about the woman. So we're going to talk about how Rome was founded by Remus and Romulus, who were nursed by a wolf, okay? A female wolf, of course. And we're going to keep going through this post that Rambo made, and then I'll get to the rest of it, okay? So Lupercalia, shoot, I just closed that out, guys. Hold on a second. My computer is really not making this easy. Now I got to go all the way back in. So you just go to Gematria Effect News and you type in Lupercalia. And this post should come up. So it's this post right here. Hold on a second. So back to what I was saying, guys. Sorry. Hopefully you guys don't get lost because I had to take a break here. Hold on. Okay, so back to the wolf and Lupercalia and Rome. Yeah, this laptop that I have, Kimberly, is a $300 laptop from Walmart. But it's like many years old now. The problem is I don't live in the United States anymore. I live in Germany, so I can't just go to Walmart and buy it. And I don't really have the money right now because I'm traveling all over the world and don't really have a full-time job. So yeah, I'm just trying to work with what I have with this computer. But yeah, someday I need to get a new one. Anyways, Lupercalia equals 98, kind of like female wolf equals 98. And this number is going to be important because remember, the queen, who's the female symbol, she died on 9/8. Okay. And Lupercalia is all about celebrating the festival of the wolf, or the fertility, essentially, of the female wolf. Okay. And again, don't forget that the brothers of the wolf are what the Lupercalia is named after. That they call themselves the Brotherhood of the Wolf. And so anyway, Catholic president equals 98. Remember, Joe Biden is currently the second Catholic president, and the first Catholic president was JFK, and that equals 98. So Catholic president also equals Joseph Robinette Biden, like 98. Again, you get the 98. So a big connection here with the 215, the 98, and the 152. So let's bring up all those numbers. 215, 98, and 152. And we're going to see how it all comes together in just a moment. So notice that Brothers of the Wolf also equals 215, which is just like the date, February 15th. So do you see how all these numbers have been pointing to the date of Lupercalia, which is February 15th? Every single one we've tried so far has pointed us to this date. And then Rambo goes on to talk more about the show. But what I really want to get into is this, guys. So I just told you that the first Catholic president was JFK. He was killed on 11/22. Just notice that Lupercalia is on the Ides of February, which equals 11/22. Lupercalia is also known as Dies Februaris, which equals 11/22. Very interesting, right? So how about we take a measurement? You guys are really going to want to pay attention to this one. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry that this thing is all messed up. So if we go from the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the day that I'm talking about in this video, it's 1,122 days. Okay? From the inauguration of Joe Biden to Lupercalia on 2/15 is 1,122 days. Lupercalia is known otherwise as Dies Februaris, which equals 11/22. This day is also known as the Ides of February, which equals 11/22. Do you guys see this? This is absolutely perfect. And not only is February 15th connected with the JFK number, the 11/22, but Joe Biden is currently the 46th president. And that day is the 46th day of the year. And Catholic equals 46. JFK and Joe Biden, the two Catholic presidents. Joe Biden's son, Beau Biden, who has the same name, he died at the age 46. And he died on the day leaving 215 days in the year 2015, which again points us to this same day, this 215 number. Okay. I'm telling you guys, this is too perfect. I don't know if you guys are catching this. There's how many we got in the chat that's still active, but this is absolutely insane. 11/22 lands on the perfect day. Okay. And again, This is not, I mean, this is a big day. I'm not saying something happens to him on this day indefinitely, but I'm just saying that it wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of ritual death, some sort of yeah, something, okay? And when Rambo wrote this post in 2021, he didn't know that the date he was talking about was actually 3 years in the future, okay? Remember, JFK died in Dallas. The lady who stars in the episode where she becomes the female president, she's from Highland Park, Texas. Okay? Highland Park, Texas. Which is in central Dallas County. Where was JFK? You know what? Well, in Dallas, guys. So you guys have to understand, George W. Bush Presidential Center is also right there, okay? And we're talking about the connection between this game that's telling us the future, guys. This game, I'm going to show you how this game is all about Kamala Harris. It's all about Lupercalia and the wolf. Because again, guys, the Huskies, okay? The Huskies, which is the dog that's closest to a wolf, and the Wolverines, two dog wolf type teams facing each other tomorrow in the national championship, okay? And Washington is also the name for our capital, and our first president was Washington. The Super Bowl next month is on Washington's original birthday, 211, which 211 is the 47th prime, and president equals 47. The next president, whoever that is, will be the 47th president, okay? Sorry, guys, I have to keep zooming in and out because this computer got all messed up. But let's just look at this. Let's just look at the numbers and let's bring it all together, okay? So we have the date of Lupercalia, which is February 15th. You can either write that date 2/15, okay? Or you can write that date 15/2, okay? So these two numbers are important, and they're important to this whole ritual, as I've already shown in this video. So let's look at the gematria. First of all, Joseph Robinette Biden, I already told you it equals 215. But let's go to this game. Let's just decode this game for a minute. Michigan versus Washington, the two wolf-connected teams, connected to Lupercalia, right? Okay. So let's talk about Michigan for a minute. Okay. Michigan is currently the state who has a female governor. Okay, let me pull her up. If my computer will cooperate. Gretchen Whitmer. So she is the female governor of Michigan. And her team is in the national championship. Okay. And she is the 49th governor of Michigan. Kamala Harris is the 49th vice president. Do you see the connection here? Kamala Harris, the 49th vice president. Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, is the 49th governor. Okay. Gretchen Whitmer was born on the same day as Kamala Harris's father, August 23rd. Also the same day as Kobe Bryant, August 23rd. Just so I can verify that. Gretchen Whitmer, born August 23rd, and Kamala's dad, Donald J. Harris, is born August 23rd, okay? So what are the chances that Kamala is the 49th and the governor of Michigan is the 49th, and she shares a birthday with Kamala's dad, okay? So that's the first connection. The second connection is in the gematria. I just told you that this is all about Lupercalia, guys, the Roman festival on February 15th. Just notice that Lupercalia equals 98, like female wolf, which is what this is all about, the wolf, the feeding of Remus and Romulus, the feeding of Amala and Kamala, This is why you guys cannot deny that this is huge for Kamala. There is literally a story in 1900s of a wolf feeding a woman named Kamala and Amala. Okay, that's undeniable. And I'm going to show you how it all connects. All right. So Tom Brady, I just wanted to point out Tom Brady, the most famous and biggest star of NFL football, he went to school at Michigan. And just notice that his team that he went to college at, Michigan Wolverines, equals 98, like Lupercalia, okay? Like the coach, the current coach of Michigan is Jim Harbaugh. He also equals 98. The most famous Michigan player of all time is Tom Brady, who equals 98, okay? Now just look at this. Michigan happens to equal 152. This connects us right back, okay? Right back to the date February 15th, 15/2. Michigan equals Joe Biden, equals Kamala Devi Harris, equals female president, equals September 8, which is when the Queen died. Okay. And again, this is the number 98. This is all about these two numbers, guys, 98 and 152. Okay. Notice that all these numbers I have up here is the 98 and the 152. Notice that September 8th, which is 98, equals 152. That's when the Queen died. Notice that when you just type in the numbers 98, it equals 152. The reason I typed in the Great Mother here is because another word for the Great Mother was the wolf. The wolf was the Great Mother that fed Romulus and Remus, and then they went on to found Rome. Well, actually, Romulus, if you guys don't know the story of this too, I'll bring it up for you. So Romulus and Remus were born and they were deserted, and then they were nursed by wolves. And then this is where you get the Lupercal from, okay, which is connected to Lupercalia, right? And then what ends up happening is Romulus kills his twin brother. What's interesting is that these are twin brothers nursed by a wolf, right? Well, Michigan and Washington are two wolves, essentially Wolverines and Huskies, and they are, I'm not even sure where this game is, guys. Shoot, I didn't even look at that. I don't know where this game is even taking place at. But anyways, this game is between two teams that have this wolf symbolism, the Husky and the Wolverine. And this is happening on Elvis's birthday. Remember, Elvis was a twin, and one of his twins supposedly died at birth. So this is perfectly aligned with Elvis also. Yeah, exactly. So you have the two wolves, okay, just like the Romulus and Remus story, okay, which is basically two wolves that feed on the mother wolf, and then the brother kills the other one, okay? So one of these ones is going to take the other one out. Do you guys see the symbolism here? And when this happens, I don't know. Again, guys, I'm not giving you a prediction here. A lot of you guys that are doing the betting and stuff are probably going to want me to tell you who's going to win. But I'm still torn on who's going to win this game, guys. But it will give us a lot of clues when we find out. And we're going to find out tomorrow after the game. And we're going to see. But again, I think it's going to be Michigan right now. I don't hold me to it. I think Michigan with the 98, like Lupercalia, their coach, Jim Harbaugh, equals 98. Their most famous player in Michigan history, Tom Brady, equals 98. The biggest city in Michigan, Detroit, equals 98. I just threw in Phoenix in there because we know the Phoenix is always involved, right? Always connected. But, you know, yeah. So let's jump into this other connection with Amala and Kamala. So you have these two women, right? These two girls, Amala and Kamala, they were fed by wolves, right? They were feral girls from Bengal, India, who alleged to have been raised by wolves. So this is the same story as the founding of Rome. Okay. And why is this important, guys? Because there is a singer who is becoming big right now who's named Amala. Okay. So we have Kamala, the current president of the United States, and we have a singer who's from the United States, Los Angeles. Actually, they're both from California. Okay. And you have Doja Cat. Now, Doja Cat released a video called Paint the Town Red, where she's shown herself eating raw meat and she's wearing the shirt. Let me just bring this up. Doja Cat, feral. Shoot. Hold on. I already talked about this in another video. Okay. But I just want to make sure you guys understand how big of a connection this is. I don't see anyone else like putting enough weight on this because it's super important. Her name is literally Amala, okay? And she's eating raw meat and she's wearing a shirt that says feral, okay? And that has to do with the feral wolf. So I'm going to read something for you guys. So here's the synopsis. When the female wolf is able to mother pups, right? This is all connected to Romulus and Remus. And it's all about letting the wild side out, the woman, right? And Doja Cat, it's funny that her name is also Doja Cat, but she's actually representing the wolf, which is kind of backwards, right? I mean, it's interesting. But anyways, Amala is her name. So Doja Cat's real name is Amala. And then we also have Kamala Harris. So we have Amala and Kamala. So the story of Amala and Kamala is the two girls that were fed by wolves. Okay. Do you guys see how perfect this is? And in the music video of Doja Cat, she's wearing the feral shirt, which is all about being wild like wolves, and she's eating raw meat. In the story of Amala and Kamala, the two girls would not eat, they would eat only raw meat. So let me see if I can find that. So the girls enjoyed the taste of raw meat. Okay. So Amala and Kamala, the two girls, enjoyed the taste of raw meat. And then you have Amala, Doja Cat, coming out and having raw meat, right? I mean, it's too perfect. So, and then this connects to Kamala because just look at when Doja Cat, Amala, was born. She was born October 21st. Kamala Harris was born October 20th. Their birthdays are literally one day apart, guys. Amala, Kamala Harris, and Amala Doja Cat, their birthdays are one day apart. Now, notice Doja Cat's full name: Amala Ratna Zandili Dilamini. What a weird name, right? So if you decode this, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Look at her full name, guys. Her full name literally equals Lupercalia, because I told you guys, Lupercalia equals 98, which is the wolf, right? The holiday about wolves, Lupercalia. A female wolf equals 98. Doja Cat's full name equals 98 and 215. Well, Lupercalia is on the day 2/15. Okay. So how perfect it is that Doja Cat comes out with this song where she's eating raw meat. She's connecting to the wolf and the wolves, and now her full name equals female wolf and Lupercalia. And she even has the date 215 encoded in her gematria. Okay. So just so you guys can see all these things together, let me zoom out for a minute. So look at all these things together and tell me that this is not perfect, and tell me that this is not connected to the upcoming game between the two dog teams, okay? And just notice the symbolism on this game. The W for the woman and the M for the man. The man and the woman. Do you guys get this? So here's what I'm thinking. There's a couple different things that let's just brainstorm this, guys. So if Michigan wins, it would be saying that the man is winning. The M for man. If Washington wins, it would be the woman winning, right? And the woman, notice that the W has the purple, which is more associated with women. But what's interesting is if you reverse it, you have to remember the governor of Michigan is a female, but the governor of Michigan has the M for the male, right? So this is reversal. This is the role of reversal. The governor of Michigan has the M for man, but she's a woman, right? Just like Kamala is probably actually a man, right? And then Washington has a male governor, but he has a W for woman. Do you guys see this? So the question is, how are they going to play this? How do you play this when you have this code so perfectly entwined? Yeah, I mean, Gretchen, they're probably all reverse of what they really are, which is probably what this game is telling us. The governor of Michigan is supposedly a woman, but she's probably really a man. So that's why she has the man. Joseph Robinette Biden is probably really a woman, and Kamala is probably really a man. Do you guys see this? It's all trickery. It's very, very, very trickery. And that's why it's very hard for me to pick between these teams. Right now, I'm leaning towards Michigan, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So don't go betting off of what I'm saying here. But let's go back to the gematria real fast, and let's just show how this game is also connected with the number 222. So I want you guys to notice, if Kamala Harris is going to take over as president, she's going to be very connected to the 222. Okay. Notice that the team that's in the championship game tomorrow, the Washington Huskies, equals Vice President Harris, 222. Also equals President Kamala Harris, 222. This game is all about as above, so below, because it has the W, the up, and the M. Okay? So again, even the W and the M is all about reversal. It's the role of reversals, guys. It's all reversed. Okay? But just notice that all these things have the 222. Order out of chaos. As above, so below. President Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, President Harris, Washington Huskies. So does that mean the Washington Huskies represent Kamala Harris? Okay. Is that what that means? If the Washington Huskies win, is that telling us that the 222, which is, I mean, what are the chances that all three ways that you write her name, guys, equals 222? It's absolutely improbable. And the as above, so below is also big here. Okay. But let's make another even bigger connection. Why is this number 222 tied to the game tomorrow? Well, this is going to also blow your mind, guys. So let's zoom in so you guys can see this again. All right. So from the COVID pandemic, and remember, the COVID pandemic had a lot of connections to 222. The COVID pandemic was declared 222 months exactly after 9/11. All right. But let's just go from the COVID pandemic. Thank you to one of my subscribers for pointing this out, by the way. I can't remember your name, but thank you very much. If you go from the COVID pandemic declaration to this game tomorrow on 1/8, Elvis's birthday, who got the vax on live TV, it's 1,399 days. Okay? 1,399 is the 222nd prime number. Do you guys see this? From the COVID pandemic that was 222 months after 9/11 to the game tomorrow is the 222nd prime number. Again, the Washington Huskies equals 222. They're in the game. Wuhan coronavirus 222. Okay? Washington was the first place to get Washington was the first place to have the virus, okay? So absolutely not a coincidence that this lines up perfectly with the number 222. Absolutely insane. Okay. Let me zoom out again. But just back to the 222s. All right. I let them up there for a minute so you guys can, see what I'm talking about. And again, from the COVID pandemic to tomorrow's game is 222 prime number days. And Washington Huskies 222. So we will see how this game plays out tomorrow. I'm going to have my eyes on it. And again, the two connections I've already showed you with the dates, guys, are huge. And next month, like I showed you before, let me just close this out and reopen it so it's not keeps getting smaller. Now, I want to talk about this, guys. I wrote this post 8 months ago, okay? And it was all about the number 152. I've been talking about this number already in this video, so in case you guys are new or forgot already, I've been talking about how this number 152 is all over Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and female president, okay? And I've been following this pattern for the last 2 years of Joe Biden in the 152. Remember, Joe Biden fell at an Air Force Academy event on the 152nd day of the year last year, June 1st, okay? But the first time that Joe Biden fell on an airplane was March 19th, 2021. And if you go in 152-day increments, you're going to see what happens. So the first 152 days started on March 19th, 2021, okay? Biden falls on the steps of Air Force One. 152 days later is August 18th, 2021. I can't find anything of note that happened that day for Joe Biden. That's the only day I don't have something, okay? The next 152 days later is RFK Jr.'s birthday. Now, RFK Jr., his dad was also, you know what, and his dad shares a birthday with Joe Biden, November 20th, okay? So 152-day cycle lands us on the birthday of RFK Jr., who I think is also going to be tied to this narrative. 152 days after that lands us on the day that Biden fell on the bike in Delaware. That happened on June 18th, 2022. 152 days after that, Biden was in Asia planting trees at the G7 on November 17th, 2022. Do you guys get it? Planting trees, burying trees. Yeah. So the next 152 days after that was April 18th this year, or last year, 2023. That is when RFK Jr. announced that he's running for president in the Democratic nominee. Okay. And then 152 days later, from that day, lands us on last year on September 17th, which was the Jewish New Year. And then that leads us to 2/15/2023 or 2/16. 2/15 or 2/16/2023 is the next day in the 152-day cycle. Okay? And what's crazy about that, I got to bring up the date calculator, guys. Hold on a second. What's crazy about all this give me a second to load the page. Like I said, guys, I'm really fighting through this because my computer it acts up. And see, I don't know why it's doing this again. See, I don't know why it's doing that. Anyways, if we go from the first day that Joe Biden fell on the very first day of the 152-day cycle, okay? Let me go back and show you. The very first day of the 152-day cycle was March 19th, 2021. That's the first day he fell on the plane, okay? If you go from that day to the upcoming Lupercalia on 2/15, you're going to get, if you add the day, you're going to get exactly 152 weeks. Do you guys see this? Biden fell for the first time on March 19th, 2021. That was the same day that the episode came out called Bart to the Future, where Kamala Harris, this episode right here, guys, came out on March 19th, 2000. Biden fell on the steps of the plane on March 19th, 2021. Okay. The same day. And then 152 weeks later is the date 152, Lupercalia. Again, February 15th can be written 152. What are the chances that it lands exactly on the 152 weeks? And I just told you that this day also lands on the 1122nd day of Biden's presidency, connecting to JFK. Okay? This day is coded perfectly in 2 different date measurements, more than I've ever seen. Like, absolutely insanely coded. And don't forget that this day is the 46th day of the year. Biden is the 46th president. I'm not saying something big is going to happen. It could, but I'm saying that we're definitely going to see some sort of ritual, I think. I'm going to be watching this day. Super interesting, okay? Like, I can't even move my mouse, guys, so let me go to the chat until this computer starts to load again. So it looks like Shyla is the only one talking. Jeez, Pete's. Thank you, Shyla, for talking so much, but is there anyone else that has anything to add to this? Do any of you see how big this is, what I've just discovered? You know, I've had a lot of decodes over the past couple of years, and I've thought that days something was going to happen on days, and it didn't. We just get more predictive programming. But this day looks very interesting, and I absolutely can't overlook. Yeah, super awesome. I've talked about the Gerald Ford connection so many times, and considering we're talking about Gerald Ford now, let's bring up the Michigan connection, because again, I just connected this game between Michigan and Washington to Detroit. Remember, Detroit is where Ford Field is, where Ford is at. Gerald Ford was the one who gave the speech about the first woman president in 1989, 2 days before Kamala Harris's birthday. He did so in the Herbert Hoover Library. Kamala Harris was born the exact same day that Herbert Hoover died. Okay? In case you guys haven't seen my prior videos on that very topic, go back and look for them in my old videos. Hey Leslie, I'm glad you just got here. If you're confused, this is a lot of info, guys. A lot of info. But it's very compelling info if you guys put it all together in your minds. I don't see how you guys can, it's very interesting. Let me close some pages out here, see if I can get my computer to actually load. So again, guys, go read this post on Gematria Effect News by Rambo, okay? If I can get this to pull up, hold on. Go to Gematria Effect News. Ah, my gosh, I did it again, guys. Like, my computer literally will not let me do anything. So anyways, go look at this post, read through it, see what Rambo's saying here. Big shout out to Rambo. He was I remember when I first saw this post back in 2021, Rambo was all over it. Okay? So go read this post, gematriaeffectnews.com, and type in Lupercalia in the search bar, and then scroll down like 2 articles, and you're going to find this article. Okay? Read through this, and then watch my video and understand how this information is perfectly tied to this what I just presented. Okay? There's actually a lot more that I can't even share in this video because my computer's just too slow, and I don't have the patience to be waiting on it, But thank you guys for watching and putting up with this slow computer. I appreciate it. And if you guys would hit the like button, please help me out by hitting the like button. And if you guys want to donate, that's greatly appreciated. You can do that in the link in the top of this chat. Buy me a coffee, Decoding with Cody. Yeah, thank you, Leslie. It's definitely, this is great information. Like, we're going to see what happens next February, but let's see what happens in the game tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. But VL Jones, nice to see you as well. So I don't see a lot of the same people in my chat as usual. I think a lot of people are also in other live streams right now. So if no one else has anything else to say, let's see. So again, guys, let me try to make this point without my computer freezing. 152 weeks after Joe Biden falls for the first time on the plane is the date 152. Okay. And again, I showed you the 152 is the most important number to this whole ritual. And it's exactly 152 weeks after he fell for the first time. Okay. And Michigan is in the championship right now. Michigan equals Joe Biden equals Kamala Devi Harris equals female president. Okay. The reason I have the 9-8 in there is because Lupercalia is on the date 152. Again, so you guys can understand, February 15th is written 15/2, or it's written 2/15. Okay. So again, that leads us to this very important Roman holiday, a holiday all about sacrifices and fertility. And this is connected because Romulus and Remus are the male version of Amala and Kamala. Do you guys get it? Amala and Kamala is the female version of Romulus and Remus. And we just happen to have a president right now named Kamala and a very famous singer that's popular right now named Doja Cat, whose real name is Amala. And she's connected to the feral children who are raised by wolves. Okay? In case you guys missed it. So, and if anyone can deny this video, that this is, no one can tell me that this video that Doja Cat made is not pointing directly to the story of Amala and Kamala. I mean, that video that she made on don't forget that this video that she made was on Obama's birthday, guys. Obama's birthday. She made Paint the Town Red on Obama's birthday. And remember, why is Paint the Town Red so important to this puzzle? Because it equals 192. Like Super Bowl 58 coming up equals 192. Like Obama equals 192. Like Leave the World Behind equals 192. Okay? Eclipse. We're having that big eclipse this year equals 192. Remember, in Leave the World Behind, the bunker that the girl goes into at the end. Remember, it's a girl that goes into the bunker at the end of Leave the World Behind. The bunker was named after Commodus. Commodus is a Roman emperor who died in the year 192. Okay? Doja Cat releases the song Paint the Town Red, which is titled 192. Yeah, and Obama had the red wedding. Yeah, thank you for that, Kimberly. And again, on Obama's birthday this year, she releases Paint the Town Red. Okay, and Obama's tied to 192, and she releases this song, which equals 192. Okay, on Obama's birthday. Let me just show you that. So from Obama's birthday, 8/4, when she released the song, Paint the Town Red, is exactly 28 weeks. And the reason that's important is because 28 is the second perfect number. And just in case you guys don't understand what a perfect number is, a perfect number is a number where all of its divisors add up to its number, right? 28. Just so you guys understand that this is a perfect number. And this date I'm talking about, February 15th, is exactly 28 weeks after Doja Cat released the song on Obama's birthday, Paint the Town Red. In fact, the Super Bowl is 192 days after Obama's birthday. And I just told you Doja Cat released the song Paint the Town Red, which equals 192. She did it on Obama's birthday. 192 later is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is a few days before the date I'm talking about, February 15th and 16th. Do you guys see how perfect it all is? What was the color of the bunker door in Leave the World Behind? I don't remember. VL Jones, what was the color of the bunker door in Leave the World Behind? I don't know if you know that or if you're asking that. But again, 192 days after Obama's birthday is the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl this year is Super Bowl LVIII, which equals 192, like Paint the Town Red. So I don't know how much more clear this is, guys. I mean, yeah. So NC is saying, hey, Cody, purple wins. The colors are also code. And with your numbers, confirm Huskies win. I can't deny you on that. I am not decided yet who's winning this game, but it's going to give us a lot of clues after we find out who wins. Let's just put it that way. Hey, Not of This World, welcome. Nice to see you. If you're late, it's no problem. There's a lot of good info in this. You can go back and watch. City of Trees saying the house of the door was red in the movie Leave the World Behind. Well, that would connect with Paint the Town Red, right? Super Bowl, LVII, 192. Paint the Town Red, 192. Leave the World Behind. If I spell it right, 192. So, yeah, that's what I mean, guys. February is going to be a big month. I mean, I think something could, we could get some events in January, but, yeah, you know what I'm thinking, guys, is if they're really going to do the ritual, right? I told you guys, the W represents the woman. The M represents the man. It also represents the as above, so below, which equals 222. Okay. Let me zoom out and show you guys that again. I showed you all the 222s connected to Kamala Harris. The phrase as above, so below equals 222. This game is occurring 1,399 days after the pandemic was declared. That's the 222nd prime number. I can't pull that up for you guys, but just believe me. This game is the 222nd prime number after the pandemic. Okay. The game has an as above, so below symbol. W is up, M is down. As above, so below. The woman is the W, the M is the man. But what's funny, guys, yes, Washington Huskies equals 222. I brought that up. Just like President Kamala Harris and Vice President Harris and President Harris and as above, so below, as you guys can see right there. But sorry, guys. But yeah, the reason that the M is interesting, though, is that the woman is usually associated with the letter M. Think about it. The word mother, the word matrix, the word Mary, the word Magdalene, the word, Maria, all these women, the feminine energy always has an M, right? So Michigan has the M. That's a representation of the feminine. But the problem is that the Washington Huskies have the W, which is the woman. So it's very hard. Yeah, that's what I said earlier in the show, guys, is that both of these things are interesting because Kamala Harris is probably really a man. Joe Biden is probably really a woman. The governor of Michigan is a woman, but she's probably really a man. The governor of Washington is a man, but probably really a woman. Do you guys get it? It's just reversal. you know. Yeah, so I think there's a lot to think about here. I'm presenting a lot of interesting concepts in this video. So if you guys have anything to add in the comments afterwards, please do. And don't forget that the quarterback for the woman team, his name is Penix. So you guys got to see this. So um, the guy that's playing for the M team, okay, for the woman team, his name is Penix. So do you guys see this? Penix. I mean, this is one letter off from the word you know what, guys. I'm not going to say the word because I don't know if I'll get demonetized or whatever, but you know, he's playing for the W team, which is the woman, but he has the you know the P word in his name. I mean, you know, like how can you be any more inverted than this? You know, the woman team has the P on their team. So yeah, that's what I mean. His name is Penix, and he's on the W team, which is I'm connecting to be the woman team in this symbolism. But you also have the Michigan team with the M, like Mary, like mother, and they have a female governor in Michigan, but Washington has a male governor. Yeah, definitely a very unfortunate last name, huh, Kelly? But you know what's interesting about his name is it's also like Phoenix. Phoenix is like Phoenix. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I didn't decode his name. I think I did, but hold on. I don't even know where this game is taking place. Does anyone know where this game is taking place? Or I'll just look it up in a minute, but hold on. Let's see what this guy equals. Oh, so notice something, guys. Michael Penix Jr. equals Super Bowl LVII. Look at this. The Super Bowl that's coming up this year after this national championship game is Super Bowl 58, which is written like this, which has that 75 like New World Order equals 75. And don't forget that Usher Raymond IV is going to be performing, which also equals 75. Just notice all the 75s. Let me just keep bringing those up. Don't forget that Israel is currently in their 75th year. So you have order out of chaos, like the player for Washington, Michael Penix Jr. The Super Bowl coming up in February on George Washington's original birthday also equals 75. New World Order 75. Usher Raymond IV, who's performing at the Super Bowl 75. No, his middle initial is not S. Michael Penix Jr. His middle initial is T. Michael Terrence Penix Jr. Yeah, so it's in Houston. Okay, that's interesting. So this game is in Houston, Texas, and I've already made the connection in this game with JFK and how this next year or next month on Lupercalia, February 15th, will be exactly 1,122 days after the Biden inauguration, which was the day that JFK was killed. Let me bring up the 1122s real fast. Hold on. I have to open up a few different ciphers, but let me show you this. So if we open up these ciphers here, we're going to get the 1122s. So I told you, Lupercalia on 2/15 is 1,122 days after Biden was inaugurated, and Kamala Harris also, right? Washington, D.C. equals 1122. Society of Jesus, who have their hands all over this, 1122. February 15th is called the Ides of February, which equals 1122. It's 1122 days after Joe Biden's inauguration. JFK was shot on 1122. Lupercalia is also known as Dies Februatis, which equals 1122. Just notice that the other word for Lupercalia has the word dies in it. It literally starts with the word dies. Do you guys see this crazy connection here? I wish I could pull up my date calculator, but it's acting up, so I can't show you how it's 1122 days after Biden's inauguration, but you guys will believe me. So that's what I mean. This day, Lupercalia, is huge, guys. Huge day next month. Some ritual will happen around this time. Don't forget, Valentine's Day is one day before, and the next day is 2/16, which I'm going to make another video talking all about the next day, 2/16, because it's very connected. Okay. Yeah, I in Latin, I believe that the word dies means days of the wolf or something like that. Oh, Februatus is named after. Shoot, guys, my computer is annoying. So Februatus is named after the Febua, which is, or Februa, I think, which is purifications or purgings. Reminds me of the movie The Purge. So the reason it's named Februar is because it gets its name from the Februum, which was used on that day. A Februum is I forget where it says that. And again, this is all about the brothers of the wolf. So this day is all about sacrifices, guys. Sacrifices. At a Lupercal altar, a male goat or goats and a dog were sacrificed. This is why I think Washington could lose tomorrow. Another reason, because the Washington Huskies are a dog, whereas in the Wolverines are Wolverines. They're not even an actual wolf, but they do get their name from a wolf. They're tied to the wolf. And just in case you guys don't know, do you guys remember the Wolverine out of X-Men? Do you know we're in the year of the X? Okay. Do you guys know that the Wolverine was a film that stars Hugh Jackman, okay, where he goes to Japan. And remember how much we've had connections with Japan this year? Now, Wolverine is part of the X-Men. We're in the year of the X, okay, which is the 24th letter. This is the year 2024. But yeah, and what is Wolverine's, what is his original name? He gets his name from, see, my screen is all messed up. I have to keep zooming in. He gets his name because he's part of Project X. He's called Weapon X, all right? So let me just show you what Weapon X equals. Hold on a second. Notice that Weapon X equals 98 again, just like all the other 98s I showed you already. Just ignore the spelling of, I misspelled weapon wrong, but it's still the same. Weapon X equals 98, just like all these other 98s I already showed you. And what's interesting about the game tomorrow, connected with Wolverine, is the guy who plays Wolverine is Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman was born on October 12th, 1968. The game tomorrow is featuring the Wolverines, the Michigan Wolverines. Hugh Jackman is the Wolverine. The game tomorrow is exactly 89 days of his age, so 89 days after his birthday. Tomorrow is the day that Elvis turns 89. Okay? Do you guys see this? Hugh Jackman, 89 days after his birthday. Tomorrow is Elvis's birthday. Elvis turns 89 tomorrow. There's a whole lot more to talk about the Wolverine thing. I think I'm going to make a separate video about the Wolverine. Of course, I don't know if I'll even have time to do that because the game is already tomorrow. But I just wanted to show you guys that there is a super scripted connection to the tomorrow's game with the Wolverine movie. Okay. And Wolverine has a lot of connections with Japan. And this year is going to be a year of Japan. And just so you guys can see, I just found this out today. But there's a movie coming out this year, Godzilla. And it has the X in it. Hold on a second. So just look at this script again, guys. I just started talking about how this is the year of the X. And just look at this movie coming out on April 12th. It's called Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Of course, it's tied to Japan because Godzilla is tied to Japan anyways. But just look at this. I mean, why did you even put the X in the title of this movie? Like, there's no reason to put the X there. Can anybody give me a solid reason why the X? X does not mean and. They could have put the ampersand there for the and, but they just put Godzilla times Kong, which doesn't really make any sense. But they had to put the X in there. And notice it's even in the cover of the movie. They have the X in there. And again, X is the 24th letter. Yeah, and my computer's froze. I can't even move. Yeah, X means female. A female has two X chromosomes, right? Yeah. So again, this is the... Yeah, thank you, Not of This World, because I can't be the only one who looks at the title of that movie and says, why in the heck did they just put a random X in there other than the fact that they just love the X? Why did Twitter change their name to X? You know, why is there an X eclipse coming next year? You know, it's just all super obvious, you know. So, but yeah, good point, Kimberly. The X means the female. So we know that the chromosomes, the X and X chromosome is the female. So that's why next year it just looks like something is going to happen with a female president. I mean, just looks like it, guys. I mean, I can't, it can't be very any more obvious. Yeah, I get that the X means versus, but that's the only thing that makes sense for it to mean. But it's just, you know, they just wanted to find a way to put the X in there, you know, that's why. Oh, yeah. Hey, I just realized my buddy is in the chat under the name Waterman. He's been giving me some great connections. Yeah, and he's talking about the Auspice Maria right now. That's another thing to look into. It's got the IXXI symbol in it, but it's also connected to this game. I forgot to bring that up here, but unfortunately, I can't even move my mouse right now. I can't even close this stream out right now because I can't even move my mouse really. I can't control it. So I would show you guys the Auspice Maria and how it's connected to all this MW stuff, but I can't move my mouse. So, but yeah, if you guys see Waterman in the chat, he's posting that Mary equals 24, Maria equals 24. The X is the 24th letter. The Auspice Maria, which is a symbol of Mary, has the two X's in it. In Gematria, Japan equals 42, which is the reverse of 24. Japan equals 42 like female, like feral, like how in the music video from Doja Cat, she's wearing the shirt called Feral. because feral equals 42, like female, like the word bitch equals 42. Maria equals 42. So it's all about the 4224. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to end the stream, guys. But I can't even move my mouse, so I don't even know how I'm going to end the stream. So I'm stuck with you guys, which is a good thing. Yeah, 8 times 3 is 24. That's a good observation. Because 83 is a big number. So yeah, I'm just reading your chat, guys. Thank you guys for all the this video is going a bit longer than I wanted it to, but I can't even close the video. I literally can't move my mouse, guys. My computer will not even work, so I don't know what to do. But I guess it's good this is happening at the end of the stream and not at the beginning. Yeah, that's right, Kimberly. Murder is the mirror. 83 is the mirror of 38, which is all about murder. Remember, Washington, D.C. is on the 38th parallel also. That's a good one, Not of This World. She wrote in there, she said, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Yeah. I should look into that lyric. That's like proof of the Matrix. Yeah. I'm just gonna try to reboot it. So if I lose you guys for a minute, don't leave. I'm gonna try to reboot my computer and come back on for just a second. Hold on. Hey, can you guys hear me now? Please let me know if you guys can hear. Okay, you guys can hear me? Good. My computer is frozen again. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, guys. Nothing I can do now. I guess I just got to end the stream because I don't want to keep you guys here. There's so much more I want to talk about, but I saw you guys posting some good stuff in the chat. Kimberly said that Godzilla is female, which I had forgotten that actually. I remember it lays eggs, so yeah, probably connected to that. But yeah, guys, I'm going to sign off here. Since you guys can hear me, I'm just going to try to close out this stream if I can move my mouse, which I still can't do, but shoot. I don't know what to do with this. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end the stream and because I can actually move my mouse for a minute. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day out there. Thank you for watching as always. Appreciate all 83 of you. If you guys would hit the like button, please, on the way out. Try to get the likes up to like 70 something before you leave. Um, and yeah, if you guys want to go back and watch from the beginning, a lot of information here. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can do so by going to my link in the description. Any support is greatly appreciated. And yeah, much love to you all. God bless. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Thank you.